Hi, my name is Marci Williams and I give Dr. Watt permission to share this video.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so Marci, how did you hear about our office?
My sister-in-law recommended that I come see Dr. Watt because he works with Hashimoto's patients, which I have Hashimoto's.
Okay, so you were already pre-diagnosed with what you have. Okay,
yeah.
and to be fair, her sister-in-law is a friend of our family.
Oh yes,
and
my
wife's-
sister-in-law is a really good, it's best friends with Dr. Watt's wife.
Yes. All right, so when you first came in, normally people come in and watch or come to the seminar. You didn't do that, so what did we do with you on that?
I kind of got a miniature version of the seminar.
Okay, and what did you learn? What did you think about that?
I learned that the thyroid is connected to the whole body, and that's why I've been feeling so yucky for a long time.
And did anyone ever explain anything like that to you?
No,
What were the biggest things you kind of got out of that in terms of, oh, that's why I'm having this issue, that's why I'm having this issue? What were kind of some of those things? Anything like that?
I just remember thinking, oh, the thyroid is affecting my digestion, my hormones, my brain function. I think that was a big one. I was realizing that my slow thinking was part of the thyroid.
Okay, and so then after that, we did a neuroevaluation. What did you think about the neuroevaluation? Have you ever had anything done like that before?
No, It was weird. I mean,
It was weird.
Weird in a good way. It was just kind of like, wow. It was weird to feel that there was less feeling on the right side of my body.
And issues going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we went over the report of findings with your husband and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's when we explained everything to you. What did you feel, or what did you think about that one? The way we explained everything, kind of explained what we needed to do to get you some help.
I don't know. You can edit this part. I don't remember.
Oh, we're not going to
Still
edit
working
it.
on the memory part, but I just remember really wanting to get better, and that's why we decided that my husband said, "Let's take care of this. You know, if you choose to do it, I support you in that." So,
Cool.
I was hopeful that.
And to be honest, that's actually the saddest thing is when patients have the spouse don't want to be supportive in helping them.
Yeah.
And that's good that your husband was supportive to get you well. And we were kind of on a time crunch because her and her family were going to be moving to Guatemala. Her husband does some business in Guatemala, and so they're going to be moving down there. And so we only had 4 months to do what we need to get done. So some of the things that we did, what did you think about the actual treatment side of things?
So.
Just kind of the overall treatment, say the last 4 months, just kind of everything. What did you think about what we did in terms of how we were able to help you?
It was different than what I would do, I guess, in a medical model. But I felt like it was more holistic. It was treating my whole body and just trying to bring the right side of my body back to life. That was kind of cool. And my arms were buffered from doing a little bite thing. It's like, whoa, what's going on here?
The exercise with oxygen, yeah.
And
okay, so we did like basically 3 different aspects. We did the neurological stuff. So we had to do some neurological training.
You're talking about the dots,
yeah, and
on the
different things
wall
like
and
that,
catching the ball,
right, and all that kind of stuff, trying to enhance the brain function, right? And then we did the testing. What did you think about the testing that we did with you?
I'm trying to think. So we checked for food sensitivities, right? And I wasn't really surprised, but I was disappointed about eggs being something I should cut out of my diet because that was a big source of protein for me.
Right. And to be fair, you had already done a lot of stuff dietarily.
Yeah.
You had already changed a lot of diets. You'd already done, you're one of those great patients because you'd already done a lot of stuff. You just were looking for the final answers to get the help,
Yeah.
So we did that. We did the test. We did a lot of different testing. We did some nutritional compounds and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And you did that excellent. You did, you did a great job with that.
Those are yummy. I like them, I guess. But I felt so much better. I'm not sure exactly if you can pinpoint what thing my body needed the most or just everything. But nutritionally, I think it was really depleted. My body couldn't absorb nutrients.
What were some of the biggest symptoms you were having before you came in?
Fatigue, which if I don't take care of my diet and if I don't exercise, I still can feel a lot of it, but supplements help a lot. Depression was probably one of the biggest things that I suffered with.
And how quick were you able to see the fatigue start to change into more energy and the depression start to subside?
I think probably about a month to maybe a month and a half is when I started feeling more energy, and when I started to realize,
hey, I'm able to do more stuff around the house without being so tired and things like that.
Yeah, and the depression was the biggest one. My husband was really happy with that. He's like, she's a totally different person. That's what he says to people all the time. I am a different person than I was a few months
That's
ago.
awesome. In fact, and I was just telling her this, I think one of the best days is we always have these little highs as a doctor, and one of the best ones was the statement. It was just a simple statement, I'm not sad anymore.
Yeah.
And that's always...
Yeah, I don't feel sad anymore, and I really felt like I was walking around with the dark cloud over my head. So that is huge, and I know a lot of people walk around with the dark cloud.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, that's for sure. What would you tell people that are wanted to, looking into this to decide whether they should do it or not?
I think that really would help you, and to try it, because without your health, life's really hard. And so make the sacrifices that you need to make. I mean, if you're spending money in something that has no value, your health has a lot of, it is extremely valuable to be able to get the quality of life that you want.
All right, and thank you very much. What would just to end on? What are the biggest things you've seen the biggest differences? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but overall, from when you started 4 months ago to now, what are the biggest things you've seen the biggest difference in?
So hormonally, I think this depression and the hormone thing has a lot to do with each other, but just being really irritable with my family, and so now I'm a lot more calm and even tempered, and so that makes my husband extremely happy, and my children too. So that's been the biggest thing, and just having more energy. My house is starting to come into more order, which is really hard when you feel tired all the time.
Right. And you were doing some more outside stuff too, right? Wouldn't you tell me some hikes or something like that one time that you normally couldn't be able to do?
I went trail running with my sister, and about killed myself, but it was so much fun, and I plan on doing it more. But I exercise every day now. I have enough energy to. I mean, I don't like to do real heavy stuff, but I love to walk, and I love yoga.
And those are things that you just weren't doing before, or much before?
I wasn't doing as much. Before I started coming, I had started doing a cleanse that was part of it was doing exercise every day. But I cut out gluten out of my diet, which I highly recommend to actually anyone. I've been studying about it.
Right.
But I feel my brain is so much clearer, and that
was the big one. Yeah, that's one we haven't talked about, because you were writing down notes for everything in the beginning. Remember?
I still do, because I still need that. I need a reference to go, oh yeah, I have something on that day, and I need to remember that. So I can remember things better because I write them down, and then I have a visual image in my brain of what my planner
But
said.
before, you were having major brain fog issues.
I would miss appointments, and I'd get calls, and I remember one time missing a doctor's appointment because I didn't write it down, and I couldn't remember it, obviously, but I remember crying, and I called him and said, I'm sorry, when I get my act together, I will make an appointment with you. And it was just my annual physical, but that was just something that I suffered with, and hopefully I'm not going to go slip back, but I think that would be because I would stop eating right, if I were to stop exercising, if I stopped taking supplements, and stop, I think, just taking care of my brain.
Yeah. So it's nice to have that. It's been a life changer, right?
Yes, it has been awesome.
Well, thank you very much. We'll end, and I appreciate her being such a great patient.